we need to start making more conscious material choices.
I set up an initiative called Make Fashion Circular.
It's a tsunami of change. Hello and welcome to the Diff, the online event series which has the ambition to shift mindsets and inspire action towards a circular economy by telling stories of incredible circular economy happenings around the world. I'm Hugh McCann and I lead our Global Partner Programme in Europe. And today we're going to be talking about circular economy and finance. What role does it play? And why now? But it's not just about us in the studio, it's about you. It's about you out there across the world joining us this afternoon. We want you to get stuck in, to get engaged on the topic. And you can use the comment sections on whatever platform that you are using. And don't be shy to use the hashtag ThinkDiff hashtag. So, we have a guest today who's flown in all the way from Turin, and he has been instrumental in getting circular economy from just an exciting idea at Intesa Sanpaolo to becoming a real commercial reality for the bank. And I'm very happy to introduce you, local Luigi. We've been working together for the last 4 years.
Right.
But I'm not sure if everyone in the audience knows you as well as I do and the team does here at the foundation. And also, so let's maybe you introduce yourself, and also for those who don't know who Intesa Sanpaolo, as well as most Italians do, maybe you can give a bit of introduction to the bank as well.
Yeah, sure. First of all, Hugh, let me say that for me it's truly a big honor to be here and to participate at Diff. Well, I haven't a traditional banker profile, I would say. My background is in industrial engineer, and I'm really passionate about open innovation processes. So all the processes connected to how to bring innovation inside our clients and how to disrupt their business model and their products. For sure, I'm also really passionate about the circular economy concept. I joined in 2016 the circular economy team in Intesa Sanpaolo Innovation Center, which is the company dedicated to innovation inside the bank and with bank's clients. I have to say that I'm really excited to be part of this journey inside the bank. About Intesa Sanpaolo, well, Intesa is the largest bank in Italy by market share and capitalization. We have also a strong European scale, I would say. In Italy, we have more than 3,000 branches with 12 million of clients. And at international level, we have more than 1,000 branches with 7 million of clients.
So 25% of your branches actually aren't in Italy.
Yeah, exactly. We are in 25 countries abroad, especially in the main countries where the Made in Italy is strong and where Italian companies work, such as United States, Brazil, India, Russia, China. Yeah. We like to say that Intesa is a real economy bank. Okay. We support the real economy. The large part of our clients are SMEs, small, medium enterprises, and like, for example, little artisans also. So for us, circular economy is not only a marketing strategy, let's say, or a sustainability strategy. It's really a business priority for the company with a strategic relevance. In fact, the circular economy is inside our business plan, 2018-2021. And we truly believe that with the circular economy, we can tackle environmental issues while boosting our clients' competitiveness.
But why now? Why the urgency? Because, why not wait for another few years? What's really driving this?
Well, I truly believe that circular economy is not anymore a trend of the future. I truly believe that there is a lot of circular economy practices, of circular products, of circular business model already happening now. So the concept of circularity is gaining big attention from the financial industry, especially from the banking industry. This is because, in a single sentence, circular economy for finance means to de-risk our credit portfolio. With the circular economy,
so de-risking the credit portfolio of a bank.
Exactly.
So that is the loans that you have lent out to different businesses.
Exactly. With the circular economy, we truly believe that we can decrease the risk level of our asset portfolio.
Okay, so that means decreasing the chance that someone doesn't repay their loan.
Exactly. That is exactly the definition of credit risk. I can give you some example about this. Let's think about the credit risk divided into three main components.
Okay.
For example, we have operational risk, we have market risk, and we have regulatory risk.
Okay.
For the operational risk is the risk that a company cannot make profit anymore in its environment for operational reason. I can give you a really concrete example here. A couple of days ago, we had in Italy a really huge natural disaster in Venice. We had there a huge flood caused by a couple of days of heavy rain with almost 2 meters of water in the city. I mean, 2 meters. I'm 185.
Yeah,
so
I'm 185 as well. So we're talking like we wouldn't be able to walk around. We'd be swimming around. We
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, that's pretty serious.
A huge quantity of water in the city. Let's think about people living in Venice and companies working and making profit in Venice.
Tourist industry, the hotels, the gift shops, and all the industry in the area.
And what about the loans and mortgages connected to the people and to the companies living there? So this is why the bank decided to suspend that financial products, loans and mortgages for people and companies in Venice. And this is absolutely the right thing that we did. But that kind of products are not financially performed anymore. And this is a problem. So this is the operational risk that I was talking about. So how to decouple our business model of a bank from the risks to be operative for our clients, related, for example, to the impacts of climate change, as the example of Venice.
And the climate change doesn't just affect Venice; it affects supply chains across the world.
Absolutely, absolutely. For example, another concrete idea is about the regulatory side, the regulatory risk. What is the risk connected to companies that failing to be compliant with new regulations, with new laws connected to the circular economy? For example, we saw by the newly formed European Commission all these ideas about the Green New Deal. So we expect to have important regulations connected to the consumption of virgin materials in Europe, for example. But in Italy, for example, also we had the government pushing a plastic tax about virgin plastic materials that are used in Italy, that is very connected to the idea of a carbon tax. So you pay more taxes, more are the materials, the plastic materials that you use. And this will impact especially, products that will cost more and consumers that will pay more for that plastic products. So if a company doesn't anticipate this kind of new regulation, new laws with investment in its facilities, this will be a problem for the company. So how the company can give back money that asked to the bank if it can't control the environment and the ecosystem around itself. This is why we say that the circular economy is a way to decouple the risk management from the asset allocation management.
Okay, we've got a question here from Kevin.
Yeah.
If the circular economy is a real opportunity, why does it need to be treated differently by a bank?
Yeah, this is a quite interesting question. I have to say that we are living a transition. It's easy to say that the first role that a bank should have is to provide credit. But before to provide credit to companies and to support the circular economy transition, we need to create the knowledge and the culture inside the company with our top management around the circular economy in order to, clearly identify what are the opportunities for the bank, for our business model connected to the circular economy. I feel that we are living a first phase of this transition where there are incentives to the circular economy. Also from a financial perspective, we launched last year a circular economy platform to provide credit. I will talk more deeper later about this. But we will see, I believe, a second phase in the transition where it's not incentive the circular economy, but it's the linear economy that will be taxed more, like the plastic tax in Italy. This could be the discussion around how to accelerate the transition towards a new economy, a new economic model.
So we're talking about the role, we're talking about de-risking a bank's portfolio of loans.
Yeah.
And that's what the bank wants to do. It's kind of the primary objective. And also, to address that, the bank has developed a circular economy credit facility.
Yeah.
And I know the audience will be really keen to learn more about this. But I think what's really been exciting working alongside yourself and the team is about the journey. I remember meeting your chief innovation officer, your CEO Carlo Messina, with Max Tellini, the head of circular economy, with our CEO Andrew Morley, and Ellen herself, Ellen MacArthur. So tell us, how has that journey been? Where did it start? What has been exciting? What has been tough? And what steps did you take to get to where you are today to launch this €5 billion circular economy credit facility in September last year?
No, I have to say that so far it has been really an amazing journey inside the company. We started with a very small team, only 3 people in 2000.
Which, by the way, for most people who are implementing circular economy, will be 3 times the size.
Yeah.
So we say small, but just yes, it might have felt like small, but it was saying giant to some people.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Anyway, I'll let you keep going.
We started with this task force on the circular economy working in 2016 inside the Innovation Center, because the circular economy has been recognized as an innovative trend for our clients, for banks' clients. We started creating, first of all, the culture around the circular economy, identifying what...
The culture within the bank.
Exactly.
Yeah.
With our colleagues, with our top management. So far, we gave access to an online course in Italian about the circular economy to 50,000...
Online course.
Online course, yes. To 50,000 colleagues. That is,
So how many people do you have at the bank? How many employees do you have?
We have in Italy more or less 60,000 of people.
Okay, so nearly everyone.
Exactly. And then for example, we collaborated with our talent program inside the bank to train about circular economy, the managers of the future inside the bank. So I think that the first step is to create the right culture. And this is what we did with such task force 3.5 years ago. Then we collected huge commitment from our top management.
Okay, just before we get to the top management, let's keep to the staff. The 50,000. Why run training for all the staff? Why do they need to know about this?
Because circular economy is changing the world. I want to go around, walk around on the street, and if you ask to 10 people what is circular economy, if they ever heard about circular economy, I truly believe that today maybe half of that people at least once in their life have heard about circular economy. If you did that 3 years ago, maybe 1 or 2 people answers with a positive answers. So also for us, having this huge amount of colleagues, of people working in the bank, we can also have an impact, not only as a credit company, a company that provides credit to other companies.
I think that's what this is here for. I mean, when I think of a bank, and most people in the audience think of the bank, they think banks lend money, but there's a lot more that a bank can play in the circular economy transition, and you have it outlined here. Maybe we can just, without ruining the flow of where you started and where you went, but maybe we can just quickly talk about the different.
Very quick. For sure, the bank, the most common role of a bank is to provide credit, and is the business and finance square, let's say. But having this huge systemic impact in Italy and around the world, we are working also, to create the culture and train our colleagues, but also the external environment of the bank. We collaborate with the universities, research centers. We had.
Is this kind of the next step then? The universities and the research centers, or were they part of the learning, the development of the learning?
The development of the learning for sure, but also we help them to train more than 600 of students in Italy, knowing more about the circular economy and keeping the ambition of the circular economy high. The keywords, we all know that the keyword for the circular economy is redesign products, redesign business models. It is.
And Italy as well, when people think of it, Italy, one of the things that people think of is design. It's the beautiful Ferraris, the Fiat 500s with chirp around the street. There's a real, the beautiful clothes. It's such a strong association. I think there's a huge potential here for Italy.
Absolutely. We have a huge opportunity in terms of redesign our made in Italy products to be more circular and to have, a key role in this transition.
Finance needs to help with that.
Absolutely.
And let's just quickly look as well at some of the other pieces here.
We are collaborating. We collaborated in the past 3 years with the most important stakeholders at institutional level. For example, the World Economic Forum, the European Investment Bank, the Foundation. We founded the Circular Economy Italian Alliance with other 8 corporates of the Made in Italy in energy, fashion, mobility sector. So we had a role also in that initiative. We work with the policymakers. We gave our support to the Italian government.
And in terms of sequence, we talked about culture and training.
Yeah.
And actually, one question that come through is, a lot of business have found it hard to reach out with an idea like circular economy to the staff. What was your secret? Was it top down, bottom up? Did you have some kind of ambassadors?
No, I believe that our secret is to have really visionary management inside the company.
So that comes with the leadership piece.
Exactly. We truly believe that the circular economy is something very logical. Why we have to use virgin material from the planet if we can close the loop and keep material in use using something that has been already used from another company and paying maybe less that kind of resource. So it's something very logical for us. So I think that this has been the secret. Also to keep the circular economy inside the innovation center, the innovation area, is not just a matter of sustainability, of CSR department that maybe in the large part of companies is like that. In Intesa Sanpaolo, circular economy is something that was born in Innovation Center and now has spread all the business division and also the mainly the business division. This is why we launched last year a 5 billion credit facility.
Let's get to the plafond. We've talked about the different 6 boxes, but what has happened between creating the culture, the assets that excite your peers, and it sounds like having an innovation center makes it perhaps feel or sound more exciting to people than it coming from maybe more of an environmental department.
Yeah.
But what other steps did you take? You know, I worked with you guys closely, and it wasn't a straight line. It's never a straight line.
Yeah.
There's challenges, there's moments of excitement and frustration. Maybe you can talk to us a bit about, like, after the culture, what are the couple of years between?
Yeah, we felt that we had to have a key role in providing credit for the circular economy. So this is why we founded a dedicated financial product that is the Circular Economy Platform, that is not only a marketing financial product, but you have in reality the most favorable conditions from a financial perspective. We started like a startup creating this kind of cultural knowledge around the circular economy inside the company, and then we scaled up inside the business division, saying that to have more circular clients, we need to accelerate this transition, rethinking our financial instruments. So the Circular Economy Platform was the first goal of our business plan, and we launched it last year.
But Luigi, we're talking about 5 billion euros here.
Yeah.
I've not seen anything of a similar scale anywhere yet, even in the Dutch banks who are progressive and perhaps your closest competition. How did you manage to convince your leadership? How did you and the team say not 500 million, not 1 billion, not 2 billion, but 5 billion, which is, a percentage of your loan portfolio of the bank?
Yeah. We identified this opportunity doing, our internal studies and internal expectation about the market. We launched 5 billion last year, and as of today, we already financed more than 500 millions with more than 50 clients for circular projects. The interesting part is that the loan, the financing opportunity is strictly connected to circular projects. We worked with you, with the foundation, to define clearly what is the circular economy, how we can measure circularity level of a project. This is why we together did these 5 circular criteria to define every project that entrepreneurs present to us asking for loans, for example. So you can access to the platform, you are eligible for the platform only if you have a circular project.
There's a benefit to having a circular project, which is interesting because many companies many people are like, well, circular ideas sound riskier, but the way that Intesa has done it doesn't reflect this, or perhaps it's you're taking a longer term view. Perhaps you can expand on that.
Yeah, the thing is that to answer to the current challenges in terms of social and environmental challenges, the circular economy is the best answer to that. We can, design out waste and pollution, keep the control of raw materials, and give the time to the planet to regenerate the natural capital. So it's not only, to reduce your impact or be less negative with the ecosystem. The circular concept is to be positive, to give a positive impact contribution to the ecosystem, to society, to environment.
But banks, they're not just looking at, they want, people, planet, and profit is something you hear often. You need the business to be generating revenue, to be sustaining itself. It's not just about doing the right thing. It's about having business models that work for the long term. And just someone we are going to have joining us in a few minutes is going to be Sabrina Koshy from Lucart, who's a company that you've worked closely with.
Absolutely.
Over the last couple of years on their transition. So we'll be introducing Sabrina. But before we do so, let's hear what else is going on at the Diff.
Hi, I'm Colin and I'm going to recommend a couple of Diff sessions you really need to watch. First up, how do you redesign the clothing industry? This is the story of Rapa Nui. The story so far of two brothers who set out with a bold ambition to redesign the fashion industry from their garden shed. Then, the second show listed here was on earlier today. We heard from the co-founder of Hexagrow, a startup that wants to help you grow food in your office. Plenty to sink your teeth into there. And as always, you can join the discussion by using the hashtag ThinkDiff on Twitter, and you can catch up on anything you may have missed so far. So, in the words of Aerosmith, walk this way to thinkdiff.co where you can see them all. Back to you, Hugh.
Thank you. A lot of great things happening at the Diff. Building on the momentum of last year, we're really smashing it this year and having some great people on board. People like Sabrina from Lucart. Sabrina, you've been working with Intesa Sanpaolo for a number of years as an organisation. Lucart has been on the circular economy journey with Intesa Sanpaolo for the last couple of years. For those who don't know you and for those who don't know Lucart Group, maybe you can give a brief introduction to both.
Yes, for sure. First of all, hello everybody. I'm really very pleased to join this call. Sabrina Cosci, I'm Chief Quality and Environmental Officer of Lucart Group. Lucart Group is a paper company, an Italian paper company owned by Italian family, and we have a very long tradition in paper industry. The first company, the first plant, was founded in 1953 from the family, and we are in Tuscany. Probably Tuscany is a region almost well known all over Europe. And we are settled above all in Lucca area. Lucca is a town not far from Florence and Pisa. So we are really in the heart of Tuscany. Our company is a paper industry, and as I mentioned, is a totally Italian familiar company. At the moment, we have developed a certain number of new plans and set a certain number of activities, and we are around 1,500 employees in different countries, in European countries. We have 10 plants, half of them in Italy, and the other ones are in Hungary, France, and Spain. So for our company, environment has always been a focus. We have always been investing in environment, in sustainability, and responsible growth. This is the reason why the company started from the very beginning to use paper for recycling to produce our articles instead of and in addition to fresh fiber. Our products are paper products. Some of them can be recycled, some of them cannot be recycled because we produce household products and products for hotel, restaurant, catering, and also for B2B channel.
Can you give us a couple of concrete examples? I know I've looked through your report, and a couple of them really struck my eye. It's not just about sourcing recycled material. It's also about creating the system that enables you to have good material flows so that the paper can be used again and again. And one particular that caught my attention, which I thought was really smart, was the use of juice cartons. So maybe you can just talk about the development of the system, the collaboration, the stakeholders involved, and then a couple of examples, because I think it's important to really highlight that collaboration and system perspective.
Yeah, for sure. In fact, one very important project and in innovation in terms of use of recycled materials, but also design for circularity, has been the recycling of cartons for liquid foodstuffs. It means that we have been able to recycle these cartons that should be otherwise waste, and to use the fiber inside to produce our articles. And we defined the paper produced as fiber pack. And then we can reuse the co-products, it means aluminium and plastics, to produce other articles, such as pallets and dispensers. So in that way, we really have a circularity of the products, as we start from recycled products, recycled material, and we are able to reuse even the co-products that otherwise could be wasted, as we cannot use them in our processes. This was a very, very important project and a very concrete example of circular economy. And we expanded with this project even in different countries. So it means that we did a twin plant in France to produce the same kind of articles. In the meantime, we also use packaging in recycled materials or in paper. So it means that design for circularity and innovation of our products is a very, very important, is a pillar for the company. And yeah.
I was going to say, just it hasn't just been a journey that Lucart has embarked on its own. Intesa Sanpaolo has also been an important partner, of the last couple of years on the circular economy topic. So maybe you can share with us a bit, between yourself and Luigi, how that evolved. How did it start, and what role the bank has played on that journey?
Yeah. Well, historically, it was a purely financial relation since 10 years, more or less. But in the truth, in the last 2-3 years, we started a joint relationship related to circular economy. For instance, we joined some sessions of the Startup Initiative Program of São Paulo, and we
part of the Intesa Sanpaolo Circular Economy Lab, which we'll get to, but we haven't had a chance to speak about. But thank you, Sabrina.
Yeah, and we joined above all sessions related to waste, recycling, new materials, and so on. In the meantime, we also met some of the startups introduced by our partner, and it was very, very interesting. In 2015, in the meantime, we were at Expo Milan, and at the stand of Banca Intesa, we introduced our project, the project I mentioned before, that enabled us to recycle cartons for liquid beverages. And it was a very good opportunity. And then we also asked Banca Intesa to provide us some e-learning related to circular economy, as they are very, very experienced in this topic. We asked them a collaboration because we would like to improve the awareness within the company about circular economy.
It's about shifting also the perception of circular, from waste and recycling to design for a circular economy. It is quite an important mindset shift, and I'm sure there'll be a lot more projects such as the cartons one that'll emerge with this mindset if it's pervasive across the organization.
Yeah, in the meantime, we also afford the plafond issue you mentioned in the interview before, together with Luigi, and we are working on that possibility, because it's clear that any innovation, any investment related to circular economy needs financing. So to us, it's very important finding a partner able to provide not only financial parts and financial aspects, but also innovation and whatever support related to circular economy. And this is what we found.
And do you have an example you can share about the innovation aspect?
Yeah, for the innovation aspect, for instance, we had the opportunity to meet some startup working with natural ingredients, natural dyes, and we are in contact with them to check the possibility to apply these news from their side to our products. It's a very, very beginning activity. So we are just checking how we can merge and how we can provide each other information, technologies, and have innovation that kind of products.
And this is, I don't think most people think of a bank introducing, circular economy startups to a paper company. Is this unique, or perhaps it's common in Italy but not in Ireland, where I'm from, or the UK?
Oh well, it's not very common really, because usually banks provide financing. So the added value for us is having the opportunity to enlarge this partnership, this collaboration, and to find innovation and items related to circular economy, recycling, and to be able to build together something better for the environment and for the future.
If I may,
Sure,
startup mentioned before by Sabrina was one of the best startup participating in our startup initiative program. That is our acceleration program, where we coach and mentor new entrepreneurs that want to have a role in the circular economy transition.
I remember we kicked the international component, circular economy component of the startup initiative in London with you 2-3 years ago, and it was great to see. We got over 100 startups through that program. We know of a number of startups that got funded. We really created a buzz amongst the investment industry about the potential of a circular economy, and it's great now that that's translating again from the exciting idea to potential commercial realities of companies using these startups to accelerate their transition. And I think when again we think of banking, we're thinking of credit, and it'd be interesting to hear from Sabrina. What role do you think finance plays in the transition to a circular economy? Perhaps you can give a couple examples of what access to a plafond such as Intesa Sanpaolo's. How does that accelerate your transition?
Well, it's a focal issue for sure, because as I mentioned earlier, we are in a transition period towards circular economy. And in this transition period, for sure, there will be changes, there will be renewal, there will be innovation, and we will need the installation of new capacity, production capacities, and it means investments. So in that case, a suitable financing solution is a crucial point, and it will be very, very useful for us, and we will require such kind of partnership, such kind of support. So we usually try to anticipate investments. And to do that, it's important to have a partner support and also a, let's say, payback period agreed within the parties. And that's a crucial point. Because every time you try to anticipate something, it's clear that you need to have a clear vision of the current situation, but also of the future.
Fantastic.
And with that kind of activity, we found the collaboration of Intesa Sanpaolo, and it was very important to us. That's why also the plafond issue is an ongoing topic together with them.
And just one last question before we go back to Luigi. Why now? Why is this all important now? What's the urgency?
What's the urgency?
Yeah.
The urgency is the planet, for sure.
Very good. Well, on that note, Sabrina, thank you very much for joining us, tuning in from Tuscany. I'm sure many people would love to be in Tuscany right now, but from Cowes is also a nice place to be in this studio. So thanks very much, Sabrina. We're gonna go back to Luigi. We need to just go in maybe in a bit more detail on the credit criteria. You've got a couple other dimensions you want to share with us, and some final thoughts before you wrap up.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you very much,
Thank you,
Sabrina.
Bye-bye.
Ciao, buonasera.
Yeah. Well, my final thoughts is about.
Maybe we summarize a little bit. So we've 4 years ago, circular economy was an idea. You shaped the culture in the organization around circular economy. There's a big role as well around engaging your customers on circular economy. Does you use just an engagement process that you had with your customers over the last 2-3 years?
Yeah, we used to meet, face to face our customers that already has an intention, a positive intention to sustainability in general, and to discuss with them how to rethink their idea, their innovative, product, for example, into a circular thinking, how to redesign their products, their business model to be more circular. We used to do this, for example, in the Circular Economy Lab. That is a physical space
and this
in
was
Milan.
launched at the same time as the Plafond, wasn't it? I
Exactly,
remember
1 year ago.
Yeah.
In Milan, with the presence of Andrew and MacArthur too. It was very exciting day last year. We have this lab working on circular economy with our clients, trying to set up with them and for them processes around the concept of open innovation. So how to identify the needs in terms of innovation and circular economy of our clients, for example, a new technology or a new material or a new business model for a product, and how to match that need with the offer around the innovation and circular economy that is represented by startups, universities, research centers, for example. We did that with one of our most innovative client in the bioeconomy space, that is Novamont, a leading Italian company, manufacturer for bioplastic products, bioplastic materials. With them, we assessed more than 100 startups, and we created 15 matches with a real contract of collaboration of 3 months between Novamont and the startup. So it's quite a concrete and solid thing that we are doing in the Circular Economy Lab. This is just because the role of a bank is to provide credit, for sure, but it's also to accelerate the transition towards knowledge, innovation, technology, policymakers, engagement, researches. We have, I would say, a huge, we are playing a huge role in the circular economy transition, for sure.
We're running up against time. We probably have another couple of minutes left. Is anything you want to show us before we wrap up, or are you happy with what we've covered?
No, I think that we covered all the topics. I would be happy to share one last final thought about circular economy, and I will come back to my background of industrial engineer, because I see a close collaboration, close interdependency between circular economy and the technology matter. Let's say the fourth industrial revolution that we are living with digital technology. I think that through the circular economy we can give a purpose, a positive goal to all the investments around the technology and the fourth industrial revolution. I mean, artificial intelligence, machine learning, Internet of Things, smart cities. We have heard a lot about all these things in the past years. I think that circular economy is is something more strategic than the use of a new technology, in something on how you want to use and for what purpose you want to use that technology. So we can give a purpose, a positive purpose to the fourth industrial revolution with the circular economy, for sure, for people and for the planet itself.
So this is great, and it's been really good to have you on the couch here in our Cow studio.
My pleasure.
I think what for me, having worked so closely with Intesa, what really stands out is kind of the journey you've been on. From just an idea to launching a €5 billion circular economy facility. Creating a physical space with the lab, the growth of the team from 3 to like 9 or 10 people now, and also saying we've lent out, over 500 million euros of loans, circular economy loans, and then to get, Sabrina on the line and to say, look, this is really important, but it's not just about lending the money, it's about creating the ecosystem for it to succeed, it's about the culture, and it's about the partnership, the understanding of the financial partner, of the transition that a company is going through, the ups and the downs and the roundabouts that you got to go to make it happen. So thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this as much as we have, Luigi, myself and Sabrina and the team here. There's a lot going on at Think Diff, so stay tuned and see you next time.
We need to start making more conscious material choices.
Set up an initiative called Make Fashion Circular.
It's a tsunami of change.